settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And just settle in. I don't know what kind of a week everyone's been having. There's a little bit on the political scene that for the YMCA students today, we're expressing a little bit of concern. So, however anyone is reacting, feeling about the state of the nation or about the environment or even in your personal life, just try for a moment to bring your mind back to where your body is. And there are so many things that we can do in our own little world, just in terms of the environment. There's things that we do have a certain amount of control over. A lot of it does depend also on where we live, because the government in the area that we live either is encouraging people to take care of the environment or not. But you can even do things in your own home, the way you shop, the way you use electricity, water, etc., etc. So anyway, there are ways in which we can control some of these external factors that we think that we don't have any control over. We just have to kind of get a little bit closer to home. And then for the things that just seem way big and are very, very depressing and this and that, there really is, not terribly much. I mean, in the things that there is not terribly much we can do actually physically, then, we can do many practices and pujas and things like this, and also use that to calm our mind and try not to worry about things that we have absolutely no control over. There's something we have control over, sure, worry about it, take action, do something. But if there's something you can't control, can't worry, it just takes up too much energy. So just settle the mind. Feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. Shoulders aligned with the hips, and imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light, and it stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So try to put some space in between those vertebrae. And then bring your attention to your breath. Just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head. And just relax the neck, back of the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. And just really feel yourself relaxing, but yet staying fairly nicely aligned as best you can. Whatever's available to you physically. And be aware of any sounds in your environment, just allowing those sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And if there's kind of like fires near where you are and you're affected by smoke, just for the moment, allow your awareness of the smoke to be there, trying not to be too disturbed by it. And then notice the thoughts that are arising in the mind. boredom, happiness, worry, planning, ruminating. And try not to follow the story. Try not to continue with the story. And then just watch your mind objectively. Just watch the thoughts as they're coming and going. And then bring to mind, as we do, the people of our life, and bring to mind those folks in your life who are so precious. And they're precious to you, to me. We have so much love for them. But you know, all the other ones in our life, the enemies and the strangers, they're precious to someone in the same way that our loved ones are precious to us. And they're all equal. They're all equal in this wish that they have to be happy, the wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this goes for everyone, you know, all those people of our life. So we think, we just motivate for everybody, all the sentient beings. So I think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And, you know, we hear things in the news that just sound so outrageous. And it just is kind of often that the person who's been, you know, committing this and that, they just didn't get, somehow they get caught, but they don't get punished. And some of that Liberation Prison Project, we had a number of, you know, many prisoners who'd done not much more than many people who are just walking around. They just got caught doing it. So, you know, just think the judgment we place on others, and then think, you know, could be me there. And anything anybody else has done, anything I have done, any negativity I've done, any karmic seed I have planted, it's not, none of it's so awful that you can't purify it. You have to have a wish to do so. So start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any being in this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we can't bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So it makes sense to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. You know, it's like healing. This is like medicine for us. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, and blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion, and has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And we have a little section here on developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and just have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you will kind of, turn up as suffering for them sometime down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And there are 3 stages to this meditation. So we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of his hose, quite forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama mimutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe and vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama mimutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So imagine, you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, anxiety, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama mimutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiata sawa kama sita me, sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe, ambajrasafa samayam nupalaya vajrasafa dina patita, dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there is no space in your heart now or anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And so imagine light and nectar coming from Vajrasattva's heart, and it fills you and completely eradicates even these very subtle imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now is the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without making this kind of decision, nothing's going to happen. You know, if you hadn't decided, I want to attend these teachings this weekend, you wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have registered. You wouldn't have been included. You wouldn't have gone. You would have done something else. So you have to decide, I don't want to harm. Then you'll be surprised. Many kinds of opportunity will arise for you to, you know, pull that bug out of the pool or that spider from the shower recess. Whereas before you may not have noticed them. So I think, you know, first of all, rejoice in your unbelievable efforts are absolutely amazing. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Could be something arising in the mind. Could be something you do, bite your nails, eat too much sugar, or whatever, too many cookies. And keep it simple. And then Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche used to recommend to meditate on emptiness. He kind of says he would describe it like this: it's sealing the merits. So I don't know exactly. It's almost like I don't know exactly how that works on on an esoteric or physiological level. But it just kind of this understanding of just keeping everything is not necessarily the way it's arising in a way that's not necessarily the way we see it. Things don't exist the way we think they do. All phenomena is empty of inherent existence. Things just don't arise in and of themselves. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just, 3 verses here of Manjushri's words of wisdom, names of Manjushri. Assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler, most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way. The lord of speech, the master of expression, the most skilled in words, adept with language truthful, with boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth. Not coming back, not turning round, Rhino, the leader of the Pratikya Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, the single cause of all great elements.